Hi everybody, it's Kristen or VSG Heart on My Sleeve, and I'm coming to you with my cruise recap. So as I mentioned in a previous video or two, Frank and I went on a cruise over the last couple of weeks. We were gone 10 days. We spent a couple of days in Miami and 7 days on the ship. It was a Carnival cruise. We sailed to St. Thomas, St. John, the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, and Turks and Caicos. And so there were a couple of days at sea thrown in there. So what do I want to say about the cruise? Well, it was definitely a different experience this time than it has been in the past. I felt like a different person in a lot of ways, but oddly enough, not that much different, because I think the last time we cruised, I was sort of still in like that crazy state of denial where I didn't realize how unhealthy I had become, or, you know, how overweight I was, or whatever, I guess you would say. However, I definitely was more aware of my health, my food choices, working out, that sort of thing, as well as the people around me on this cruise. So I had said I was going to take the stairs most of the time. That happened. We worked out 3 times on the ship. I ran around on the track 3 different times on the ship, which was really fun. And I guess coming from Colorado, where we're at a higher elevation, you know, running on the ship where you're literally like 100 feet above sea level seemed super easy. So it was kind of fun to just be like, this is like, I could keep going forever. And it definitely doesn't feel that easy all the time at home. So that was cool. And then at the hotel before we got on the ship, and at the hotel after when we got off the ship, I worked out as well. So I did manage to get in 5 workouts in 10 days, which is pretty darn good for being on vacation. Actually, it's pretty good anyway, I guess. I should give myself a little credit. But yeah, so I got workouts in. So what else? On the ship, I wore, for one of the formal nights, I wore a dress that I wore in high school to a formal dance, which was like sort of a crazy thing that I actually fit into it. And the funny thing is, it was a dress that I wore the year in high school that I had lost like 20 pounds. And I remember it was like my skinny dress from high school. And the fact that I fit into it and wore it, you know, however many years later, was pretty awesome. And I felt really good about myself for sure. So I will insert a picture of that. Maybe I can do it now. Let's see. So what else? I just felt good about myself. I wasn't as self-conscious. I definitely, where I was self-conscious was with skin, which was something that I got asked in one of my videos, one of my 12 Days of Christmas videos, to talk about skin. So I will, I'm sorry, I don't remember who asked it, but I will make a video talking about that. I was definitely conscious of it, especially when you're on a cruise ship where there's people with like tight, you know, young, tight, hot bodies running around. I felt conscious of the skin and some stretch marks. Oddly enough, I wasn't that concerned about my, what I call my Franken tummy, like the scars. I don't know, I guess because I got tan and they sort of blended in, I thought that would bother me and it didn't. But the big thing I was concerned about was whether or not I'd feel comfortable enough to wear my 2-piece swimsuits, and I definitely did. I actually only wore a 1-piece one day, and that was the day we went on a catamaran and went snorkeling, because I just could see myself like diving off the catamaran and my top coming off or something. So that wouldn't have been cool, so I wore a 1-piece that day. But every other day on the beach, on the boat, at the pool in Miami, I wore a 2-piece, and I just kind of, I felt really uncomfortable. Most of the time I wore a cover-up. I definitely didn't like walk around in my 2-piece, but as it went on, I got more comfortable, and I just feel really proud and excited that I was able to do that, and just kind of like get over it and be like, you know what, I've worked hard, I've gone through a lot to get to where I'm at now. I have a ways to go to get to where I want to be, but you know, I'm going to be proud of what I've done so far, and it felt really good to be like that. So I will insert some pictures, some swimsuit pictures and vacation pictures at the end, so stay tuned for that. I did want to say on the ship, I noticed, not in a judgmental, like mean way, but I definitely am more aware of health now that it's such a big part of my life. So I did notice that there were a lot of people on the cruise ship that were obese, overweight, whatever you want to say. And it was really strange because, like, I felt myself wanting to almost say, oh my gosh, you don't have to live like that. Like, try this because it's changed my life and so many people I know, their lives. But, you know, of course you don't know these people, and even if you did, it doesn't mean they want to hear that. So I didn't say anything to anyone, of course, but I really seriously thought it many times. And it was kind of strange to watch these people eat. Not, like, in the beginning, it almost made me feel, like, grossed out a little bit how much these people are eating, because, of course, on a cruise you have everything paid for, so you can eat as much as you want, you can order as much as you want. And, you know, I definitely ate more. Everyone, I think, pretty much does, but it was almost gross for me to watch how much people were eating. And then I also just felt like a sadness for people, because I know I'm not 100% confident in myself, and I know exactly how I felt, you know, 7 months ago before surgery, going on a vacation where I had to wear a swimsuit around people, or, you know, shorts and tank tops and show your flabby arms. And I just felt sad, like, for people, because I recognized the body language and, you know, the wearing of cardigans to hide things, and just like the pulling on stuff, and I don't know, I felt sad for people because I was watching them, you know, not feeling good about themselves, and I know, and we all know how that feels. And so, I don't know, it was kind of emotional looking around at people on the boat. And then on the complete flip side, of course, there's these people that are like naturally skinny, rock hard bodies, like, you know, perfect figures, and they've never probably been overweight a day in their life. They look like models walking around, and I'm like, okay, I've worked really hard and I'm probably never gonna look like that, but that's okay. You know, before, I think I almost would have been like bitter or jealous, or what, it just would have made me feel really uncomfortable. And now, I don't know, like Frank said to me at one point, he goes, you know, we might not be like perfect, or I guess speaking to me, you might not be perfect, but he said, you're honestly, like, if you divided this boat into categories, he was like, you're like in the fit group now. You're like in the top 20% or whatever number you want to assign to it of, you know, of the people on this ship that are, you know, not just like looks, but just like fitness and health. And it felt really good to hear him say that, because, you know, in this journey you don't always look in the mirror and see what other people see. Sometimes people give you compliments and you're like, no, you know, that's not true for me. But it was good to see, and I kind of like made myself look around and take it in and see where I'm really at, and I came away feeling really good. Plus I was on vacation, so how could you not feel good? But that was kind of interesting, like psychologically. Other thing I noticed is, my God, if you have been on a cruise and you go to like the dance, like we had a Motown, a Latin night, and like a Divas performance. Okay, these dancers have sick bodies. And I don't know why, I've never really noticed that before on the ships, but I guess because I'm trying to work on fitness, whatever they're doing is what I need to be doing. That's all I'm saying. Okay, and finally I want to talk about food on the cruise ship. So, food. When I went on the ship, I I watched less of Sarah's video about her cruise because it was timely. She had just gone when I was preparing to go. So I followed Sarah, I followed some of your advice and it worked great. I ate the inside of tacos and burritos in this like Mexican cantina they have on the boat. I also ate, they had like a sub shop, so I took like half the sub bun off and kind of folded the other one in half with like double meat. So it was actually pretty small, but it was like a lot of protein in there for lunches. And then I also, they have a Guy Fieri burger joint kind of thing on the ship, and I went there I think twice and had like the inside, like the burger, the cheese, and the grilled onions and stuff with no bread. So those were good protein, you know, lunches. For breakfast, we always go to the formal sort of sit-down breakfast. And I had like omelets or scrambled eggs or oatmeal or yogurt, you know, pretty much regular high protein stuff. I took Quest bars with me. I had a Quest bar every day, pretty much, I think, just to make sure I was getting my protein in. I definitely did not get enough water. That is the one thing. Oh, and I also did not get my vitamins in regularly. So if you're going on a cruise, or if I ever go again, those are the two things I would definitely say are difficult and I needed to do better on. Also, what else? Oh, I drank for the first time. I haven't had alcohol really since surgery. So I drank one night. We went to the martini bar and they had like a thing where you pick 4 martinis from the menu and then they put them in front of you and it's a game and you're supposed to guess which one is which. And it was awesome. Let me just say I missed my martinis. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be like drinking like crazy. I probably won't be doing it again for a while, but I didn't feel bad about it because it's been a long time, and I definitely felt the effects of alcohol, though, I'll say that. I had like 4 little mini martinis and I was like, woohoo! Can feel that. But yeah, so that was something I guess I just wanted to document because it was the first time I've really drank since surgery. And then the last thing was at dinner, at the formal sit-down dinners, you know, it's like these course after course after course meals. So I was very careful what I ate because I wanted to still be able to taste everything. But the one thing I did that was probably bad, but whatever, I'm going to keep it real. I drank water the entire time we were at dinner, which I never do, obviously. That's a no-no with surgery. You're not supposed to drink water before or after you eat for 30 minutes. But I drank the entire time because I wanted to be able to taste all this great food. And I kind of felt like, screw it, you know, if I gain a pound or 2 or I don't lose weight or whatever, it's fine. Like, I've done great. I'm on vacation. I'm going to enjoy my vacation. So that was naughty. And I was definitely able to eat more. So it's not something I would recommend. It's not something I've done since I've been home. But I did. So keeping it real, cruise recap. Sorry, this is getting really long. I'll wrap it up by saying when I got home, I wasn't sure what the scale was going to say, and I was a little nervous because I definitely ate differently. And so I get home, and I had been sitting at about 157 or 158 prior to leaving for our cruise. So I get home, and the scale was up to 161. And I had a panic attack quietly in my brain. The next morning, I woke up, and it was already down like 2 pounds. So I figured, okay, this was water weight from the salt or from flying because that can make you retain water. So then I was back down to like 159. Well, then I went to the gym that day and like the next morning I was down to 157. And then like 2 days later I was at 156, which is where I'm sitting right now. So considering that was also during Christmas, I lost a pound or 2. I guess I lost 2 pounds in those 2 weeks. So having been on vacation, eating a lot, and Christmas was here, which I ate, you know, a couple of little things that I wouldn't normally eat. Not too bad. I guess that working off and taking the stairs helped when, you know, make up the difference. So anyway, that's my cruise recap. Hopefully it's helpful for anybody who takes a cruise in the future. And I will see you guys in my next video.